You might wonder what the ultimate goal is, which is mentioned in the Kyoto Protocol and in the Copenhagen Treaty. They keep on referring to all of these implementations reaching towards the ultimate goal. Well, if you look in Article 2, Paragraph 7, the answer is outlaid very simply: a zero carbon action plan. And it says it must be holistic in nature. B. Define a national emissions pathway to 2050, including 2020, 2030 and 2040 goals, in line with the parties' commitment under this article, or Article 3, of the Kyoto Protocol as amended, and the shared vision of the Copenhagen and Kyoto Protocols. C. Detail and outline the policies and measures, including financial arrangements, institutional structures, and relevant domestic legislation in place or planned that will ensure this emissions pathway is followed, and that the parties' qualified emissions limitation and reduction commitment is met. Now, right through this treaty you will find that they give themselves the necessary powers to set the goals that they want, use whatever resources they have available to them, tax whoever is necessary, seize private and public property to achieve their goals. And they keep on referring to the ultimate goal. Well, the ultimate goal is zero carbon. It says here after Article F, each industrialised country should submit a zero carbon action plan. That's a ZCAP. This plan should be visionary and outline the country's mitigation policies and measures that will ensure that it meets its QERC or QELRC and stays on track to follow the emissions pathway agreed upon in the shared vision, example 2020, 2030 and 2050 goals. It should also describe how a country intends to meet its support obligations. That means pumping money into the system. ZCAPs with not only assist in setting a pathway towards a low carbon economy for each country, they will also build trust globally. In other words, rub shoulders and make good friends with all of their other mates that are doing the same thing. And each country is indeed making adequate institutional and financial investments, arrangements, and meet its obligations. Now, without going into any further gobbledygook, they intend to have all of the countries hand over their sovereignty, their assets, and their people into slavery, and they will legislate the people and force them by law at the threat of jail to comply with all of their legislation to achieve the ultimate goal. Coming back to the ultimate goal, which keeps on getting mentioned in this throughout this treaty: zero carbon. People, think for a second. Zero carbon means no carbon emissions. This means the end of all human and animal life forms on the planet. That is the zero. That's zero carbon. You cannot have zero carbon without the end of all human and animal life forms, because human and animals create carbon. So, the ultimate goal is for the planet to be void of all animal and human life and leaving only plant form. Now, this is what they believe is necessary, and if you interview, as I have interviewed, many conservationists, there is an alarming number of them that will openly state to you the ultimate goal that they want to achieve for the planet is for all human and animal life to die and the planet to be taken over by greenery, trees, shrubs, plants. And this theme seems to weave its way through the entire conservation network. Now, you might wonder, who came up with this treaty? Guess what? Greenpeace. The Greens movement throughout the world came up with this treaty, and they've roped in other environmental groups to give them credibility and support. But honestly, people, do we really want to head down a road where we're going to be forced to be kept poor and starve to death and be forced into complete annihilation? Because that's what this treaty is about. But in the road from now until that ultimate goal, as they keep referring to, in between times, we are going to be taxed out of existence. This treaty is not about making our environment more friendly for us. It's not about global warming. It's not really about carbon trading, although that will be used to achieve their goals. It's about the complete destruction of human and animal life. Read it and you will discover its true meaning. I thank you.